Hello, space explorers and coding enthusiasts! It looks like one of our rovers ran out of battery power and is stranded on the planet's surface. Today, we'll be learning how to use 2D coordinates in a grid with loops in order to help us find it. We will also look at some more artistic uses of 2D coordinates by using a robot to help us paint on a digital canvas. But first, let's continue to use the power of nested loops to help find our stranded rover. In order to use coordinates, we can first divide the area we need to search into a grid of rows and columns. We'll be using our outer loop to loop through the rows and our inner loop to loop through our columns. But remember, computers count differently than we do, so how do you think the rows and columns would be numbered? Well, let's see. I remember that computers start counting at 0. Since we have a 6x6 grid, our rows value will go from 0 to 5, and our columns value will also go from 0 to 5. Our nested loops go through each coordinate, and our search function accepts a row value and a column value. It returns if the rover was found, and if so, we print its location. This is a very systematic way to explore every part of our grid. Let's watch as our code goes to work. It looks like we found the rover at row 3, column 4. Great job! There are many other ways we can utilize a grid and nested ifs. This time we will be using a grid to search for a safe place to land. We will search an 8x8 grid this time. For each section, we'll make a call to the checkSafe function that accepts a row and column and returns a safety value from 0 to 100. We will be checking if the result of the function is greater than 90. If so, we print out that location and also keep account of the number of locations. Pause the video here and give it a try now in your guided notes. Let's take a look at how we can write this code. First, we initialize our count variable to 0. Then we set up a nested for loop, checking an 8x8 grid. Within the inner loop, we check if the safety value returned from the checkSafe function is greater than 90. If it is, we print out the location and increase our counter to keep track of the number of safe locations. 2D coordinates aren't only for searching. They can also be used for digital art. We have a painting robot that can follow a grid based on the current coordinates. It can paint 3 colors: red, yellow, and blue. If we ever write 2 colors to the same spot, remember that red plus yellow is orange, yellow plus blue is green, and blue plus red is purple. If all 3 colors are placed in the same spot, the result is brown. This canvas is 5x5, and the code we have written for it is the following. Can you predict what the picture will look like when this code runs? Pause the video here and give it a try in your guided notes. Here is what the robot drew based on that code. Our first if statement paints blue when the row is equal to the column, giving us this result. Our next if statement paints red when the row modulo 2 equals 0. Remember that modulo gives you the remainder after division. What does this statement mean? Right, when the row divided by 2 gives you a 0 remainder, we paint red. This means we paint on even rows. Our last if statement paints yellow when the column modulo 2 equals 1. What do you think that means? This time we're painting yellow on odd columns. Here's our final image. Now we have another problem. One of our crew members made this picture and forgot what program they ran to make it happen. Could you try to recreate this program from this picture? Pause the video here and give it a try in your guided notes. Let's check our code. There are a few ways you can do this, but we will look at one possible answer. Since there are 5 rows and 5 columns, the nested for loops remain the same as before. Our first 3 if statements paint blue in the areas where blue should be. Our third if statement also paints yellow in row 2, column 3, because that square is green. Then we paint red in every square of row 4, so that is shown in the fourth if statement. Lastly, we paint yellow in 2 squares when row is 3 and in column 0 and 4. Our task for today is very similar to our painting robot. Since we have a party coming up, we would like to have a multicolored dance floor. We can change the colors using a grid and our nested loops. Let's take a look. Our dance floor supports different colors, and we're going to make it light up with a beautiful, colorful pattern. We'll use the set color X, Y, C command to achieve this. Now, let's understand how this works. We have the dance floor, and we can specify the position of each tile using X, Y coordinates. To make a tile light up, we use set color X, Y, C, where C is the color value ranging from 0 to 20. The exciting part is that the dance floor will interpret these color values and display different shades of red, orange, yellow, green, and so on. The challenge here is to create a colorful pattern with gradual transitions, which means that the difference in color value between 2 adjacent tiles should not be more than 2. Let's get started and create a stunning, colorful dance floor pattern together. Today, we were able to use nested loops to create a 2D coordinate system. This is a set of coordinates that represents the relative width and height of a certain area, like a planet's surface or even a piece of paper. We can use nested for loops to visit each area using the row and column number. Then, we can utilize conditional statements to perform actions based on certain conditions. This could be searching for a specific requirement, like in our rover search, or painting a certain color, like in our painting robot. Be sure to complete the programming tasks, practice questions, and extension activities before moving on to the next lesson. And remember, in the universe of coding, the possibilities are infinite. See you next time. Hey, hey.